Hello, friends. Susan Axelrod here, the Confidence Coach. Welcome to the Confidence Zone. In my coaching conversations today and a few other personal conversations, I had one theme come up multiple times. As you've heard me say, if you follow me here in the Confidence Zone, when this happens, I feel that it's intended for me to speak about it here in this space. The theme today is this: do you show up in your authentic voice? Do you show up comfortable in the skin that you're in? Or do you feel that you're not speaking through your authentic message and really showing yourself to be who you feel like you are inside? Now, most of us honestly stuff down the way we actually feel inside. This is something that I've learned over decades of life working with people, and especially over the last decade working in coaching partnership with people. And that is that most people hide their true self. They hide it in many ways and they suppress it in many ways. Those are of us who are in the Enlightenment movement. Those are those of us who have committed to self-connection, self-discovery, and a type of self-renewal. That doesn't mean we're perfect. It just means that we're committed to our own authentic voice and being in our authentic self and comfortable in our skin. Those of us who have done this inner work know that it can be easy. It can also be a bit difficult. But when you get there, you will rise. If you stay in the space of not being comfortable sharing your authentic self, which sometimes includes shame, guilt, suffering, trauma in the background, all kinds of belief systems that you have, and what they call negative self-talk. If all of that is in you, then what happens is you create a shell that you yourself find it hard to break through. In the inner work, in the commitment to using your authentic voice and being in your own authentic space, it takes a little breaking through, knocking down, cracking open the shell, peeling back the layers, excavating out with the big stuff, or taking the brush and really even fine-tuning with the dust. Over the course of my life as a mature adult, over the last 25 years, 35 years, I should say, 35 or more years, I've done it both ways. And I've learned that it feels better to be willing to speak through your authentic voice and sit in the skin that is truly yours. When we show ourselves to be different from the way we feel inside, there's a disconnect. That disconnect creates resistance, and that resistance creates difficulty. That difficulty might show up in many different ways, which includes use of a substance to suppress. It includes anger building up. It includes sadness taking us down. It could include physical manifestations in the form of a disease or some pain somewhere in your body. It could include a dimness or a dullness that is hard for you to break through to really be in the crystal clear light. All these things happen when we're in the resistance, stopping ourselves from being in authentic voice and comfortable in our own skin. It's work, friends. It's deep, honest, consistent work. Work can be fun and it can be easy and it can be challenging and it can be hard. But there's one thing you probably know from your own life experience, and that is the more practice you have, the easier it gets. It's very hard for adults to start new sports. When you were a kid, you were 8 years old, you fell off the bike, you fell off the skis, you fell off the skateboard, no problem, right? You got back up again. But as adults, we want to be in our competence, right? We don't want to show ourselves to be not good at something. And this really does prevent us from tackling new things and tackling a new way of being. We don't know if we're going to be good at it, and we don't want to appear as if we don't know what we're doing, right? You have your own experience with that, whether it's in life or in business. And in the adult skin that we're in, we want to be in our high achieving, in our solid, safe expertise, right? Showing ourselves to be on point, on purpose, good at who we are, good at what we do. That's how we want to show up. Most of us want to show up in life that way. But if you're trying to break through blocks, barriers, or resistance to the soul rising in you, then you're in conflict. And again, that conflict creates difficulty, and the difficulty creates worse. And that's what I wanted to speak with you about today. It starts with your breath. I did this with multiple people today. I did my lifting yourself up, opening back your shoulders, taking a breath in, and really just bringing it back down, right? But just really being in square, confident mode, being in alignment. We have to, in order to get into soul alignment, we have to get into alignment with our body structure, opening up here, opening up the energy flow, both mentally, spiritually, and also physically. And that's when we can begin to have an honest conversation with ourselves and have honest conversation with each other. Who am I? Who am I really? Who do I want to be? And how do I want to be? These are what I call seminal soul questions that sometimes it's hard to be honest with ourselves about. I invite you to consider whom are you hanging around with? Who do you speak with? Who do you listen to? If the people you're hanging around with are not in the soul confidence space, then they may be acting out in that resistant place, in that conflict of who I kind of might want to be if I could be versus who I have to be in order to continue to present in the way that is the right way to present. Can you see that conflict? And so I invite you to consider, with whom are you hanging? I hang out now with people who allow me to be who I am, who challenge me if I'm not showing up authentically, and who accept that I'm not perfect and I fail frequently, but now I fail forward and I grow from that experience. And that's whom I want to be hanging out with. Those are the type of people I look for now, where we can honestly love each other, support each other, challenge each other, and help each other rise. That conflict between who I want to be, how I might want to show up in soul authenticity versus who I am and who I feel like I have to show up as confident, competent, excellent, good at what I do, good at who I am, in control of myself. Those might be two different things. If you get what I'm talking about, if you get where I'm coming from, I invite you to join me on the ride. If there's someone who's going to mock you or make fun of you, like I used to be 25 years ago, then let them. Our job is to be in soul connection, feeling comfortable and confident in our own skin, having calm in your life, and really being in sync and really being in that aligned space of existence. That's what I wish for you as we begin the start of the second half of the year, as we begin a holiday weekend here in our country, and as we go into the weekend itself. So thank you for tuning in today. I invite you to be in your soul authenticity. If you don't know how to do that, I can help you with that. I have time this entire month. I intentionally kept my schedule open because of some personal stuff that I'm dealing with. And now I'm looking at the next several weeks with a lot of time on my hands. So if you think that you want to work with a coach on some of this, I would be happy to do a weekly thing with you in July. Just contact me. Okay. All right, friends, take good care. Shabbat shalom to those who celebrate, and to everyone else, have a wonderful weekend.